Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is RaidFun, and welcome to the answer portion of my 100 subscriber special, which was a Q&A. So, 2 weeks ago, I posted that video basically stating all the cool things that was going to happen since I reached 100. And from all of that, we had a total of 22 comments, and some of them are from me, some of them are just saying congrats and stuff like that. But some people actually answered or asked some questions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to list their names and answer them for you. So our first question comes from Jangle Bangle, and he asked, how exactly do you record your gameplay? What equipment do you use, and what drove you to being where you are right now? To answer that first question, right now at this very moment, what I use is literally just a screen recorder, which is Dick's Story, which is kind of like Fraps, but for me I find it a little bit easier to manage. I don't know why, it's just a little bit smoother than Fraps, and it's overall really good. Now, for the lag issue, well, Fraps would probably be a lot worse. Dick's Story is a little bit more easier in terms of controlling the RAM and all that, so it runs a little bit smoother than Fraps, because trust me, Fraps does not work well with this Mume at all. And I have this Mume obviously to play the game, or emulate it, for Pokemon Platinum at least. And I have Turtle Beaches, which are kind of broken right now. They're actually dangling on one side, and I'm a little bit too poor right now to actually afford another headset at the moment, so hopefully things will get better. But in terms of recording Wii and Xbox and stuff like that, because I have the ability to do that, I've had the ability to do that for like 2 months now, so I use the Hauppauge HD PVR to record anything that involves consoles in general. That's all I use, plus 2 cables, or 2 sets of cables for that matter, that actually allow me to plug it in on one side of the PVR and then into not into my TV, or not my TV, but into my computer, but it's a little bit complicated to explain, so it's all around a little bit difficult to understand and explain. But for all of you who use an HD PVR, then it'll be a lot easier for you to understand. So, sorry about that little awkward question there. Now the next one is, what drove you to being where you are right now? Well, I clearly don't even think of myself as being someone who's already achieved so much, like, fame, I guess, in such a short time. It's been like 3 months at this point, so I don't think I can consider that like a very long time. But all I know is that a lot of people have really taken a liking to what I do, and really the only reason that I'm making these videos is mainly for myself. As weird as that sounds, because when I first started this, I literally had no idea that I was gonna reach this number so quick, and at the moment I have 129, and who knows, I could go up or down at any point. We really don't know. But from what I can infer from this, it was mainly just for me, and then people started to come along with me while I Let's Played, and eventually started working on it just for them too. It really wasn't for me anymore. Because the whole reason I really wanted to start this was to A, have fun playing video games and just uploading on YouTube and see what others think if they actually come across them, and B, to work on editing, because I really did want to get more into editing since I've been on a little break from that for a year. My first video on this channel is actually like a little RuneScape music video, but that's all beside the point. So that's mainly, I guess, what drove me to where I am right now, but I really just can't say much else about that. Okay, I've been eyeing this question for a little bit now. The second question comes from Noah, or Wolfstar Games, and he asked, why are you gay? Less than 3. Dude, come on, it's obvious. Anyways, all that aside, that's a joke, by the way, for all you're thinking that this guy's just a hater. Don't worry, he's like my best friend here on YouTube, so like, don't worry about it. The next question comes from DT Bowie, and I finally got his name right. He was one of the people that actually sent in a request for Spotlight Saturdays. And he asked, wondering what kind of LPs you'll think you'll do in the future. Ever since I first started Let's Playing, I've always thought of what I'm going to do in the future when I'm done with Platinum. Because as fun as Platinum is for me to record right now, I will concede the lag in it's a little bit bad, or not a little bit, a whole lot bad. And I've been just thinking to the future about what I'm going to be doing to enhance my channel. But mainly what you're going to be seeing on here is going to be pretty much more or less the same thing in terms of Nintendo. Xbox, probably in the very far future. We're not talking about FPS games or stuff like that, because that is a horrible choice in my opinion. But expect to see a lot of star-ranked Nintendo titles such as Donkey Kong, Pokemon, obviously, Mario, and things like that. Occasionally, I may toss in a game that's not really related to Nintendo or is completely off any subject I was thinking of. But there's a lot of potential for what I'll be adding to my channel. So, if you guys want to stay tuned for that, then you know what you have to do. I don't really want to say it anymore since it sounds a lot like I'm just whoring myself out just to literally say it, but that's just me. The next questions, and these are a lot of questions by the way, come from RetroGamer741, and the first question from what I can infer is 6, is number 1, are you male?
No, I'm a female.
2, what animes do you like? To be honest, I really haven't watched that much anime in a long time, because I've literally lost interest for it, but the ones that I guess I could go back to watching if I ever had to would probably be Naruto, because I really like that series, because Naruto was like the first anime I've ever watched, and I was actually obsessed with it for a little bit with my friends, and because it was like the thing back then, and now it's died down. But to be honest, the storyline of that is really hard to catch up on. It's like going on forever, but then again, I guess, you know, things like that have to continue, just like any other episode of anything that's released on Cartoon Network these days, such as SpongeBob or The Fairly Odd Parents or whatever. I haven't really watched it in a while. Another one would have to be One Piece. One Piece, once again, is one of those animes that never seems to end, yet you can clearly see what the end is. Like, Luffy's gonna get the treasure, the Grand Line, and all that. But it's taking forever to get there. I haven't paid attention to that in a long time, but I don't know where they are right now. But hey, maybe they've finished it. If not, well then, I'm pretty sure we'll get there eventually. And the only other one I can remember is Persona 4 the Animation, which is basically an animated version of the hit RPG Persona 4, which is probably one of my favorite video games of all time. If you haven't heard of Persona, I highly recommend you go check it out, because trust me, it's a really good game. The third question from all this is, what is your favorite video game? You know, when people ask people like me that, who are hardcore gamers, they never have just one video game. They always have multiple ones. So that's a really hard game for me to decide. I have to decide between either Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword. Even though the motion controls did kind of kill it for me, it was still a pretty good game. Also, Persona, clearly. And probably New Super Mario Bros. 2, even though I haven't really played it. I tried it, and I thought it was pretty cool, and pretty much all those Mario games, so I really can't decide on a favorite video game. So, I just like all of them. All the ones that are good. And that's a lot of them, and some of them are bad, but hey, we all have our different opinions on everything. The next one is, how old are you? Okay, now this is something which I have heard a lot about in real life and on YouTube. So, usually, when I used to go on Xbox Live and talk to people, they'd always think like I was 18 or something like that because of how I sounded. And that literally is false. Some guy thought I was like 24. I'm like, dude, no, that's way off. But at the moment, I am actually about to turn 15 in 2 months. So I am still 14, which is shocking for all of you, because, for some of you anyways, because you might have been thinking exactly like, how is that guy's voice so not high-pitched for his age? And that's something that's been occurring a lot with a lot of people, so you can't blame my voice box. Anyways, number 5 is what manga do you like? I don't like any manga. I really never liked reading manga. I have a friend who likes manga. I always see her like looking at it sometimes whenever I walk into class. But other than that, I don't really like manga that much. I mean, I don't hate it, but I've never really been interested in looking it up other than maybe a couple of Naruto ones from that my friend wanted me to look at, but I was never really interested in it. I just want to see the animations. And the final question from Retro Gamer is, can you do a backflip? I wish. Anyways, the next question comes from Guzzler Plays, and he asked, who was your 100th subscriber? I think his name was ElderPop11, but then again, it was one of those, like, fake accounts that literally were just, like, they subscribed to me, then him, then pretty much every other person who's affiliated with me in some manner. I don't know if that was just a fan, I don't know if that's just a really hardcore fan, but I was thinking it was fake, because he made the account and literally subscribed to me the minute after. So I don't really know. I'm not accusing, but that's the username. So if you want to go look and see if he's still doing anything now or what his latest activity was, because I could really care less now, go check him out and stuff like that. Okay. Now, the next question is, I have to scroll up here because there's a lot of things that just people saying congratulations that I said a little bit earlier in this video. So the next question comes from the 7th Snivy, if I'm not missing any others. Yeah, so the 7th Snivy asked, what is your opinion of Digimon? Digimon was something that I never really got into, and for a long time I actually thought it was a ripoff of Pokemon. And I actually saw that a lot of people were saying it was, and then there are the people who actually watched Digimon instead of just looking at it from first glance and it said it wasn't. So I have no real opinion on Digimon. I never really got into it at all, so I guess I would have to be completely neutral with that. I might go check it out if I want to, but other than that, I think I would have to say meh to that one. Okay, so the next question comes from Zelda Legend 191, and he says, who is my inspiration? As I stated 2 weeks ago, some of these questions might just be re-answered questions that I mentioned in the interview, which would be right here. So, if you haven't already seen it, because I forgot to put a link in the other video, go check that out if you have any other additional questions that were answered here. Other than that, I'll just give you guys an abridged version of this answer. And that answer would mainly have to be Attacking Toucans and Super Genius. However, a lot of more inspirations would have to be people who have supported me and were better than me in what I do. And I've always been inspired by that, just so that I can keep working up so I can actually, you know, achieve what my friends have. And hopefully see how I can fare from there. And that was a nice rhyme. So yes, inspirations would mainly be Super Genius, Attacking Toucans, all those other big Let's Players, and you guys. Okay, the next question comes from Dekiyoshi, and he says, I am 12, and what is Raid Fun? Raid Fun is a boy who has afro-like hair and wears glasses. And he also likes striped shirts. And long pants. And the occasional sandal. Hopefully that answered your question well, so you can get a little bit of an idea of what I would look like if I went out in public. And also, I don't like cutting my hair. I hate it. Okay, and the next question comes from Barely Insanity, if that is the next one. Let me keep looking. Yeah. Okay, so next one is from Barely Insanity, and he says, Sebastian, do you play first-person shooters? Yes, I do. I don't play them like frequently, like every day, and I don't really rage on them either. The only ones that I really play now are just Halo, because Halo is one of those FPS games that it's just like a better version, because before I even got into Nintendo, I took a massive break from it so I could play Xbox, since that was like the fad back in 2009, 10, and all that. And then I came back to Nintendo after an ordeal, which I don't want to explain right now. I would probably explain a lot later so I can give you guys a little bit of something which I want to talk about because it's really been bugging me for a while. And I'd like to talk to all of you guys once I have a lot more people watching my content and hopefully being interested in what I do, because I do feel that the story which I want to tell you guys is really a good story, and I can only do that if I have a lot of people looking, so then at least I won't get 1 or 2 comments throughout this whole life story thing, which really does mean a lot to me. But we're getting off subject here. So Halo is mainly the only first-person shooter that I play. I played the occasional Call of Duty, as sad as that is, but that's mainly due to just boredom. Because I actually still have it in my hard drive since I actually got it on the hard drive, as stupid as that is. But that's really what I play. The next question comes from Dryfire Projects, and he asks, do you love your fans? And if so, do you love me? I love each and every single one of you for just even bothering to look at what I do. Even a minute glance at what I do. Not even leaving a like or anything. Just being there and at least looking at what I do, just to take a little 2% interest in me and hopefully more. Because at least that shows that, you know, I've managed to actually catch attention of someone and actually go ahead and look and see what they actually think of me as Let's Player. So the next question comes from Swagatrack, and these questions kind of confuse me. So the first question is, can you fly? I actually wish I could. That'd be really cool if I could, because if we fly, we can actually be able to go places a lot faster. We won't have to worry about traffic every day, because going to school and a lot of traffic is hell. The next question from him is, can you twerk? I have no idea what to twerk. Maybe. I'm still not, like, looking up the definition right now, but to move the body in a sexually suggestive twisting fashion. Oh, I just looked it up and told you guys. Wow. Well, I'm dumb. I guess I could. I don't know. I'm not really gonna try it because I don't want to right now, but maybe. And the last question from him is, do is you favorite Percy Jackson character? And then I replied, what? Because I don't understand what he was saying. Do is you favorite Percy Jackson character? I really have no idea what he's saying to that, so I'll just say yes to that. I'm sorry, but the next question comes from George Wildenberg, and he says, how did you manage to grow this fast in such a short time? Once again, there is one of those questions that just says stuff like, oh, how'd you grow this big? And honestly, I'm not big yet. I will concede I did get more than I thought I would in the few months I've been playing, or Let's Playing. But I literally have just been talking to people, playing video games, commentating, and that's literally about it. I've just been making a bunch of friends, and a lot of people seem to have found me along the way, and that's pretty much how I've grown. And there was a quote that I remember, which basically says that you can never hope to succeed in life at all without collaboration. If you choose to be completely solitary throughout your whole life, you'll never achieve anything. So that's a really nice quote that I remember, and it's really cool, and I actually take that in the heart and into consideration, and hopefully one day I'll have a banner I can just post it up on my wall. Not like a Facebook wall, I don't use Facebook, but like on my wall, like the one on my ceiling. But the last question comes from John Fuentes, who, I remember that guy, but other than that, his question was, how are you faring with the economy right now, as it is? Not good. The economy is bad. It's not good at all. It's really hard for me and my family to actually buy anything. I mean, we obviously can afford food, but for all of you who don't know, my dad's an architect. My mom is currently looking for like a job to teach at a university for art history. So we really aren't doing that good. We actually have to end up selling a lot of our valuable items, and I don't really have that much money to actually buy anything, which is really sad, and that's mainly the whole reason why I want to start an emulation game in the first place, because that was a game I could just literally do for free. And if I can't seem to actually get any more games afterwards because of this economic situation, I may have to go back to emulations. But for now, I already have everything planned out for the next Let's Play, so don't worry about that. And that's going to be diddly daddly, because I already have the game, and everything is already set up, so don't worry about that. But yes, I'm not doing so good with the economy, and I'm actually faring pretty bad against it, so hopefully things will get better with the elections. Hopefully Romney, or Obama, would do better if he gets elected for a second term, and if Romney gets elected, well then let's just hope the best and see how he can fare with 4 years of trying to manage this country as a company, which I'm just saying from facts. So, other than that, I think that's actually the end of all these questions. I don't think there's any more. I'm actually checking to see if there's actually been an update for these, because I did leave the comments open just so then I could see if there are any more live ones. And no, it doesn't look like it. So that is it then. That is the 100 subscriber special, or the first part of it. Sorry that this video is going to be replacing Project Graffiti for this week, but we literally have not been able to record at all. We've been way too busy with what we've been doing. And there's just been a lot of social interruptions or other things involving real life situations, so we really couldn't record this week. I'm sorry for that, guys, but other than that, I really do appreciate all the support you've given us, or given me, throughout this entire time. So with that, that's pretty much all that there is to it. That 45-minute Brawl video will be out eventually. Like I said, it's a 45-minute Brawl video, and we may or may not actually get it out this year. I know, it's shocking, but for all of you who know, my computer isn't the best, so I really cannot even afford to have really long uploads. I'm actually surprised I managed to actually get some of those episodes of Pokemon Platinum out daily. And the main reason for the fact of how there really isn't that many daily uploads is simply because rendering fails. Trust me, I work really hard so I can at least post videos for you guys, because now I understand that there's actually people who watch my content, which is really nice. But with that, that's all there is to it. So thank you guys so much for supporting me and being along with me throughout all this. And hopefully, I can proceed to actually do a lot more content. So with that, I've been RaidFun. Thank you for watching. If you would really like to hear that life story I was talking about a while ago, please support me in whatever way you can, and if we have a lot of active people, then we actually will go ahead and proceed to the life story. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.